Just like how this game starts, we are jumping right in. The Light is basically one of those videos of people exploring abandoned places, and that's pretty much what you're going to be doing in this game. Upon moving, you'll notice that the movement feels like you're on ice, and there are complaints of people getting motion sickness from this game. Personally, I didn't have any problems with any type of sickness, but if you do have motion sickness, then there's a guide on Steam that walks you through fixing this issue. Another thing that feels out of place is the God of War button mashing that you have to do whenever you're trying to rip a piece of plank off of a door to unlock it. It just feels very odd for an environmental horror type of game, but I could see it working for like if there's a monster chasing after you, but there is none in this game. Lastly, the character does have weak hops, but it's not much of an issue. You're not really going to be jumping around anywhere, but it is another odd thing. As you can see so far, this game is basically a walking simulator where you go around and collect items that you need to progress, and sometimes they're easy to miss as they can be small and blend in with the environment. The Light's story is told via notes that you'll find around in the facility, and it is necessary to read some of them to progress, but I don't get why you wouldn't, because the bulk of the horror and the story is within those notes. As you can infer so far, all the horror in this game comes from the ambience, tone, and the notes. However, there are some translation issues going from Russian to English, but they're not going to be detrimental to the experience. What is detrimental though, is that sometimes there are conflicting tones within the game. For example, one part of the game, there's definitely tension being built up, but there's a piano playing in the background. So it created this odd juxtaposition of anxiety and calmness. Yet there are some calming moments when walking around outside the building, and it is mentioned that this game is meditative on the Steam page. So if you like your horror with a dash of zen, then look no further. The visuals are nice to look at, particularly in the basement where the horror takes place, but the real horror is the feeling that the game leaves you, and I'm not talking about the meditative part. What I am talking about is that the Light conveys a message, which I won't spoil, that gives you a dose of humanity, and you'll know when you play it if you do. Going back to the basement, it's the highlight of the game and the only thing worth playing it for, as long as you make an effort to immerse yourself and read the notes. Otherwise, the Light is a waste of time. It's very short. It only took me a little over an hour to complete, and there's 2 endings, but there's not much of an incentive to play through it again for the other ending. I recommend this game only on a good sale, mainly for the basement experience that you'd probably already get in real life, but it does environmental horror very well. And now a bit of spoilers, so tune off now to avoid. At the end, there's a film that directly tells the moral of the story. Yeah, it's really cheesy with an early 2000s action electric beat going on in the background, which heavily contrasts the somber and serious tone of the message. It would have been better if the game just relied on the notes and the environment to tell the story and keep the film out of the game. That's it for this one. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and see ya.